Today I thought I'd take you on a storytelling time on my paranormal experiences. The first paranormal encounter I would like to talk about is from my first job, which was in retail. One day we were shopping up the shop downstairs and I had forgotten my bag. So at the top of the stairs there is a door where you have to put a code in to get through, and it has narrow window into the corridor behind the door so you can see. As I was punching in this code, I saw Dave come out of the staff room towards me and into the manager's office, so Pam's office. And now I was there like, Dave's no longer with us. So I was like, okay. I'm not scared because it was Dave. So I opened the door. I went past the manager's office. The lights were off. I noted that. And I went into the staff room. I picked up my bag that I'd forgotten, come back. And as I went past, I pushed on the manager's office door and it was locked. So Dave had come out of the staff room into the manager's office when the door was locked. And I, to this day, don't know if anyone else has seen Dave there. I have, in fact, had another encounter in the building. Again, I believe it's stone tape theory. The building itself was built in the 80s, 90s, in that era. And it would have been built on an old industrial kind of estate, like Victorian warehouses would have been there at some point in that trade yard, that kind of thing. And downstairs, so on the ground floor, there are storerooms at the back in the dark. It's all, the lights are switched off so the customers can't see back there. And as I went in through that locked door and I would look down the corridor, there was this very tall man, we're going 7 foot, in dungarees, just stood there. I don't know if he was looking at me or past me. This next encounter happened to be at the same period of time in my life, around 20 years ago. I had been on a night out with my friends. We had gone to the cinema. We'd probably watched a horror. So I dropped off my friends, and as I was driving down the road home, I saw a pair of legs run across. And I could describe the legs clear as day. It was male legs. They were in the, I want to say, late 90s, early noughties. The joggers with the 3 stripes down the side and the poppers. And then they had some really big trunky trainers on. And it just ran across the street. Stone tape theory. I feel like it's the atmosphere replaying a situation. I don't know. I think it was Stroud Road. I think it's Stroud Road, and there's, I can't remember what the other road is. I'll show you on a map. I will highlight it. But there is a corner, a turn off from Stroud Road, and it was just past this junction. This pair of legs ran across the road. That's it. I continued home and questioned myself over and over again. Did I see that? Did I see a pair of legs run across the road? Now, another experience I've had is to do with paranormal investigation. Me and my cousin Sarah had booked on to go investigate a Woodchester Mansion. And Woodchester Mansion is local to us. So we decided to scope the building out before we did the investigation, so we knew what the layout was and some of the history, and to see if there was any ghost stories already there. We ended up going into the basement, and it's quite bright down there. It's not dark, it's dark at night, but it's not too dark in the day. There's one big room with like a pillar in it, which everyone seems to be drawn to, And then there's lots of tiny rooms. I'd say there's maybe 4 small rooms, if I remember rightly. Again, it's 20 years ago. And I found myself in one of these smaller rooms. They had information boards up, like museum kind of style. Information boards, and it had like old images of what the house was before that one, I believe. And some of the history of the building we were in. So I was stood in this small room in the basement, reading and looking through the information boards. So I heard this almighty growl in my ear, so loud I felt like the breath on my ear. And it was so loud, Sarah heard it, and she was in the corridor. She was a good 3-4 meters away from me, and she heard this huge growl, and she bolted. She went upstairs. She was not having that. I stayed down. I didn't call out. I didn't ask any questions. I took photos with my old flash camera, and then I went upstairs. But I didn't catch anything on the photos. There was nothing after that growl. Luckily, there was no nasty growls at night down there. I think there was some things going on the seance board. We had some things going on with I can't remember what they're called, the poles. Like some of that action in the evening, but nothing to speak of. What's that you say? You want a more up-to-date story? Okay. So a couple of years ago, slightly longer than that, I investigated Gloucester prison with my friends from work. All paranormal lovers. Loved them. And nothing particularly creepy, so to say, happened. My experience was that my friend was doing a Ouija board with some other people. I was pregnant at the time, so I was not going to touch a Ouija board. I don't particularly believe in them, but hell to the no, just in case. So they were in a cell doing a Ouija board. We know the other group was just down the opposite corridor, so we could have eyes on them if we just turn our head. And as they were doing this Ouija board, they seemed to be connected to a spirit. I can't remember his name. I want to say it was like Ivan. I'm sure if they watch this, they might comment below what the name was. But I have a feeling the name was Ivan that was coming through on the board for them. But as they were doing that, us standing round were hearing the cell doors on the floors above us banging. Quite clearly opening and closing. Bang, 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 bang on the floors above. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily paranormal. As we were walking around, there were dead birds on the floor. So it's quite obvious that there's ways in for the birds and the birds to get stuck. So I'm not saying necessarily it was a ghost banging the doors. It could have been a trapped pigeon. It could have been stone tape theory. So it could have been just the sound of doors banging, not a physical door banging. Stone tape theory, people, please research it. It makes more hauntings make sense, in my opinion. And I wish more people would investigate it. The Lincoln Lunatic Asylum, or the Lawn at Lincoln. And I went with my friend Craig, whose name I may or may not have changed. But we went up for the investigation and we ended up in what was the doctor's office. It is now, in modern day times, or at least when I was there, 20 years ago, a conference room. Now, our group had decided to sit around this conference table. So I had my friend Craig this side of me and the rest of the table. So that was full this side, and the other side was full apart from the space opposite me. So I'm at the end with no one opposite me and my friend Craig next to me here. No one here. Empty room. So I'm in the dark corner. Now, as people were talking and calling out, I was trying to do my best to listen and things like that, but I felt a hand on my leg, gently stroking it up and down. You know? And my brain just went, okay. I didn't tell anyone what I was experiencing. I just said to the group, I'm having an experience. Could another female swap with me and sit in this spot to see if they get a similar sensation or feeling? So another girl did volunteer at the group. She got up and we swapped seats. But as the time we were getting back into the seance, we heard this almighty scream. And we went to find out what it was. And the other group, who was downstairs in the corridor doing a seance, asked for a sign, and the lift door opened. And that's what we heard. We heard them screaming from the lift door opening on, asking a question. So I never did get to find out if someone else would have had the same experience as me. No one knew what experience I was having. So, yeah. That wasn't stone tape theory. That was a definite someone was stroking my leg. Was it a handsy doctor? Now, one of my latest investigations was a couple of years ago at the Ancient Ram Inn, which is a local building to me. It's one of the most haunted buildings in England, so say. Maybe the world. And I didn't feel too bad in there. The atmosphere wasn't too bad, apart from the mummified cat in the corner. Yeah, I can't say much happened. We did do a seance in the loft space, and we had a K2 meter, and apparently liked jokes. I told a joke or two, which is inappropriate for YouTube. I won't say them on here. And the ghost seemed to appreciate it. We did have response to the jokes. So, let me know your thoughts on stone tape theory. Have you had any ghostly sightings before? Let me know in the comments below. It's always an interesting topic. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you in the next video.